Good afternoon. I'm John Hopkins, and I'm President and CEO of Post University and your United Way of Greater Waterbury campaign chair. Today, we kick off the 2021 United Way of Greater Waterbury Be the Reason campaign. Traditionally, our kickoff would be in a room filled with about 500 people, with all of the excitement and the fanfare that's associated with the launch of this critically important annual campaign. This campaign allows the United Way and all of its nonprofit partner agencies to do the amazing work responding to those in need throughout our community. But these are not traditional times. The COVID-19 pandemic has presented a historic challenge to our community. It's unprecedented. During this time when fundraising is so difficult, the need is at its greatest level ever. And it's likely to continue for some months to come. Our neighbors were struggling before the pandemic. Now we clearly see a spike in COVID-19 related social needs for food, shelter, individual and family services. And unfortunately, so many of the services are children related. Can you imagine an 8-year-old who's having mental health issues, grappling with this pandemic? Since March 11th, when the World Health Organization declared COVID-19 a pandemic, our nonprofit partners throughout the community experienced a spike in demand for services unlike anything we've ever seen before. Prior to the pandemic, residents categorized as employed but above the poverty level, yet still living without basic needs, combined with those living below the formal poverty level, represented 46% of residents in the United Way Greater Waterbury 10-town service area. They need our help. These are our neighbors. These are our friends. And no neighborhood is immune from it. If you look at your neighbors to your left and to your right, one of those households has a significant need for help, and that's before COVID-19. United Way knows there isn't a person or a business in Greater Waterbury, a 10-town service area, who has not been affected by this pandemic. Some are in a position to help. Others need help. Some companies are struggling. Others have already reached out to ask how they can help. Last year's Create the Change campaign, which was successfully led by Mike O'Connor of Webster Bank, had barely ended when our United Way had to quickly jump into action to respond to the pandemic, taking on another level of work on top of the vital work they do 365 days a year in the areas of education, financial stability, food, basic health services, and shelter. The pivot to respond has been nothing short of amazing to witness. In June, the 15th annual Stock the Pantry food drive became virtual for the first time and provided over 9,000 meals through local food pantries to meet the increasing need. Now, there are several pantries throughout Greater Waterbury, and every one of them has been overwhelmed. But the United Way has been there to help. Through a collaboration with the Connecticut Community Foundation, the joint effort has approved over $533,000 in grants to date to community-based organizations on the front lines of the corona outbreak so that they can continue to respond. Mayor O'Leary partnered with United Way on a basic needs response for the city of Waterbury, focusing specifically on basic needs for individuals that tested positive for COVID-19, so that they had medicines delivered, food delivered, basic needs taken care of. They've collaborated with United Ways across the state to ensure that those who have been financially impacted by COVID-19 through the loss of jobs or wages had immediate funds to ensure access to food, to shelter, to fuel, or any other basic necessities. And the United Way 211, supported by your campaign dollars, has become a central hub statewide for the latest COVID information and for help and referral to services. All of that just in the last few months. Mobilizing resources, convening partners, and creating immediate impact. That is the work of the United Way. Supporting that work is our job. If not for the success of campaigns past, the United Way would not have been able to be there so quickly and decisively. And most importantly, to do the work that lies ahead. As the need now is so much greater. Everyone wins when a child enters school, ready to learn. A parent can provide for their family, and our neighbors have enough to eat, a roof over their heads, and access to adequate health care. That work needs our support because our 10-town community is relying on that work to continue, now more than ever. I need you to be the reason for those facing challenges due to the pandemic can continue to fight on. I need you to be the reason everyone has equal access to the opportunities that will allow them to live their best lives, healthy, educated, and financially secure, ready to endure whatever the future brings. You can do this by sharing this message, by sharing our social media posts and content, by inviting your friends and your neighbors to become fully engaged, and of course by donating to the United Way campaign. Every single dollar matters. I'm counting on you to be the reason we remain Greater Waterbury strong. Thank you.